Hey, first grade, welcome to Social Studies. Today, our target says I can explain what continents and oceans are. Now, we've heard both of those words before, continents and oceans. I remember that we live on the continent of North America. We talked about continents being a large land mass where there are different countries, different states, different cities. Remember, we got smaller and smaller and smaller. And I remember that oceans were the huge bodies of water all over our world. We had a Pacific Ocean, an Atlantic Ocean, and a whole bunch of other ones. We're going to learn more about them today. And the special thing about oceans were that they were made out of salt water. Most of the water we see in Texas is fresh water, unless you're down at the beach. Well, before we dive headfirst into all these continents and oceans, we're going to check out this really cool brain pop.
Where are you going, Moby? You're going on a trip around the world? Where are you going first? What are continents and oceans? A continent is one of the large land masses on Earth. The continents are North America, South America, Africa, Europe, Asia, Australia, and Antarctica. Most of the continents are separated by oceans. An ocean is a very large body of water. The Arctic Ocean is in the far north. The Pacific Ocean is west of North and South America and east of Asia. The Atlantic Ocean is east of North and South America and west of Africa and Europe. The Indian Ocean is below Asia, between Africa and Australia. The Southern Ocean surrounds Antarctica. Throughout the world, there are also seas, which are smaller bodies of water. We live on the continent of North America. What is North America like? The United States of America, Canada, and Mexico are all countries in North America. Central America is the long, narrow part of North America that connects to South America. North America has many plains, which are wide, flat lands that often have rich soil. The Great Plains covers parts of the United States and Canada. The Rocky Mountains are the longest mountain range in North America. They stretch from the southern part of British Columbia in Canada all the way down to New Mexico and the United States. Some people consider North America and South America to be part of the same continent. What is South America like? The equator is an imaginary line that goes around the middle of the Earth. Most of South America lies in the southern hemisphere, which is the area below the equator. The Amazon rainforest is in South America, and it's the largest tropical rainforest in the world. The Andes Mountains of South America make up the longest mountain range in the world. The Andes mountain range goes through 7 countries. What is Africa like? Parts of Africa are in the northern hemisphere, and other parts are in the southern hemisphere. Africa also spans across the eastern hemisphere and the western hemisphere. The Sahara Desert is in Africa, and it's the largest in the world. It's almost as big as the United States. Africa is home to some really amazing animals, and some are only found in the wild on this continent. The Nile River is in Africa, and it's the longest river in the world. What is Europe like? There are about 50 countries in Europe, but 27 of them have come together to form the European Union and share resources. The Alps are a mountain range that stretches across part of Europe. In northern Europe, there are fjords, which are long, narrow inlets with steep sides. They're created by glaciers, which are large, slow-moving bodies of ice. Some people consider Europe and Asia to be part of the same continent. What is Asia like? Asia is the largest continent on Earth. It also has the most people. Over half of the world's population lives in Asia. Mount Everest is the tallest mountain in the world, and it's on the border between Nepal and Tibet. The Great Wall of China is one of the longest structures ever built by people. It's about 4,000 miles long. India is in South Asia, and it's above the Indian Ocean. India has 22 official languages, but there are hundreds of different languages spoken there. What is Australia like? Australia is the smallest continent. It's entirely in the southern hemisphere, so people call Australia the land down under. The Australian outback is a large, dry area that is far from cities. But all of Australia isn't hot and dry. There are also rainforests on the continent. The Great Barrier Reef in Australia is the largest reef system in the whole world. Australia is the only continent that's also a country. What is Antarctica like? Antarctica is the southernmost continent. The South Pole is in Antarctica. The whole continent is a cold and windy place, and it's frozen in ice all year long. No one lives there all year round, but scientists visit to study the area. Anyway, Moby, where's the first stop on your trip? The cafeteria.
Wow, there's a lot to learn about continents and oceans. I want to go ahead and look at this map right now so we can get a better idea of, where are our continents and where are the oceans? Well, I can see clearly everything that is blue is an ocean. Now, even though we have different types of oceans, and we're going to learn way more about that a little bit later, they all kind of go together. So I can see over here is the Pacific Ocean, and over here is the Atlantic Ocean. And I can see that they come together and can kind of mix together, but there is a distinction in the oceans. And even over here is the Indian Ocean, and I can see it definitely goes into the Atlantic Ocean and the Pacific Ocean because I know that Earth is round, and so this is just a flat version. But the Pacific, even though it looks like it's on this side and this side, it really would be all together. So here is an example of the Pacific Ocean being on this side of North America, and it keeps coming all the way over here. So on our map right here, the Pacific looks like it's on two sides, but when I look at my globe, I can see that really it is all together. There's not a Pacific Ocean here and a Pacific Ocean here, okay? And remember, it is a Pacific Ocean, not the Pacific Ocean. I know that that can get kind of tricky. Well, if it's not blue, these green and yellow areas are my continents. And they're green and yellow because that's kind of what the land looks like from the sky. So I can see on my globe, I used different colors. Well, they used different colors when they made the globe. I know that I don't really have continents that are like pink or purple or blue. That's just to help tell them apart. But these continents I can see are huge land masses, right? They take up a lot of space. But if I'm looking at this, I definitely have way more ocean than I do land. That's important to know, that we have more oceans than we do land. I can see the continents are broken up into their different places. And some continents, like Europe and Asia, North and South America, do touch. We do consider them separate continents. It's your turn. On Seesaw, you are going to take your Brain Pop quiz based off of the continents and the oceans. You can listen to each question and answer, and then circle the best answer choice for each question. And of course, when you're done, make sure you click that green check mark.